Well, hello there, and welcome back to Joe's Bar. Hey, we're open for business in 2020. How about that? It's pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited. Can't you tell? Uh, it's palpable, right? It's like beaming from me at this point. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We've got a great group of people here to talk, and uh, we're pretty open. So if you guys have some suggestions, you'd like to see us talk about something, I'm pretty willing to throw it out there and let everybody to talk about it. We'll meet the people that we're talking about right now here in just a second. And I just wanted to mention as I welcome you in that and we're all writers, and this is an interesting time to talk shop. Charles Dickens once said, "The best thing, the greatest thing that a writer has ever, the greatest tool a writer ever had was their imagination." But Walt Whitman said that was until the eraser. So welcome, and let me introduce everybody. We'll start as we always do, as I always love to do, with the one and only Katie Salidas, Miss Captain Trainwreck herself. Hello, Katie.
Hello, you love picking on me. Always the first one to go.
Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, most of you already know me, but if you don't, I am Katie Salidas. I am a urban fantasy author with about 6 different book series right now. The most recent one is the Running from the Devil trilogy that was done with author J.E. Taylor, and I'm also the host and producer of the Spilling Ink Show.
And then we have the coach himself, Mr. Richard White. Hello, Richard. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. How things going with you tonight, Joe?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, my name is Richard White. I am, lo and behold, a poet, or at least I try to be. You can
Pretty
find
good,
me.
pretty good. Tell everybody.
Tell everybody what?
Never mind. Sorry, I was opening my Facebook.
Oh, that's awesome. That's all right. You can find me over at authorrichardwhite.com, or you can find me, Coach Rich, at quietthestorm.biz, where I am a life coach and all sorts of good stuff happening over there, and some new things happening there, and I'm sure we'll get into it later.
Awesome. And then we have the one and only Mr. Brian Tan. I could have caught him at a better point when he was on his phone.
Yeah,
Hello,
I'm sharing the link out and blah blah blah. And what's going on there? Cool hat.
Richard just dropped out, but all right. Tell everybody about yourself, Mr. Brian Tan.
I am Brian Tan. I am an author of many things with Random Evolved Media. Currently, my novel Invincible Heart, written in conjunction in the universe of Kendra Sauda's Permutation Archives, is available now in print and ebook format. So check it out. I also write urban dark fantasy and one erotic thriller. All that stuff will be coming out in the relative future, as well as a pseudo poet as well, and generally a malcontent of all things everything. I mean, how accurate is that? I'm a malcontent of all things everything.
All right. That's awesome.
I think I'm going to start making that be my new tagline for
stuff. Yeah, you need that to be a shirt, brother.
Right across the boobs.
And then we have a newcomer to our midst, Miss H.M. Gooden. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
So tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I write under the name H.M. Gooden, and I write mostly young adult, urban fantasy, paranormal. I have my 5-year-old in the background playing a guitar right now, but he can't play guitar. Go see Daddy. Bye. And yeah, I'm writing. I have another book that'll be coming out in the fall that is going to be a little different. It's more of a memoir with short stories, poetry, prose relating to death, dying, and dementia. So a little bit of a departure.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We love having new people, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of you in the future. So thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right. And certainly, last but certainly never least, the one and only author goddess herself, Miss Sarah Berman. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Tell everybody about yourself.
My name is Sarah Berman. I am the author goddess. You can find me under those names anywhere. I'm currently having a punk era type of thing. 90s punk, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also having severe anger issues over this being week 9 of laryngitis. So whatever has settled in my throat can go screw itself. And I'm having massive anxiety over my current work in progress. I am the author of the Rune Spill series and a bunch of short stories, and I'm working on a short story for an anthology. And Courtney, I hate you.
Wow. You're almost angrier than me.
Is there something we should know? What else is going on here?
There's a lot of vitriol in this room tonight.
Yeah. I'm so mad I forgot about all kinds of other stuff I do. But it's
Did you miss the punk part? Everything is angry. Arr.
Taking me back to the 90s.
hell yeah. It's the only place to go.
It's funny, Sarah. Last night I was listening to Ozzy released his 12th studio album last night and they were playing the entire album, and they had him as a guest on Sirius XM, and because he has his own channel, and so they had him doing a bunch of talking about the album and each song, and he had a lot of collaborators, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, and he did a song with Elton John and Post Malone and all these other artists. Ozzy Osbourne.
Who's Post Malone?
Famous rapper.
Not that famous. I don't know who it is.
but the interesting thing was they played the song, and they were talking about, because one of the guys that was there, they're both like into punk, very early like British punk, 70s, 80s, and they were talking about how one of the songs made them want to just get up and smash stuff, and they were talking about, well, when I was 11, and Ozzy goes, when I was 11, I wanted to smash stuff, but I just sang a song, so I don't know if I want to smash anything anymore. But everybody was like real excited about smashing stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I recently discovered the punk band Pure Hell, and it's an all-back punk band, kind of in the same vein as Bad Brains. So I check out Pure Hell. They are freaking awesome.
Nice, very cool. So, how's everybody doing this 2020? Has 2020 been good, bad, indifferent?
This has been a long year.
Oh, it's only been a month. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm already irritated with it. I've already had enough of 2020. You know what? After April, I'm checking out of 2020. I'm boycotting 2020.
#mood.
Here you go, Sarah. Mike has a solution for you.
Elderberry syrup, huh?
I've been medicating both herbal and medicinal, both Eastern and Western medicine, for the entirety of that time. It's just
Smoking weed doesn't count. Oh,
Hey, nothing beats a hot toddy, though.
right.
I'd rather just smoke weed.
Actually,
I don't feel
organic
good. I'm
911.
smoking weed.
Organic 911 and honey has always kept my voice.
Honey and a little bit of lemon juice and some cinnamon.
You know what? Sometimes if you put some cayenne pepper, that'll help too.
Got that? No.
A little bit of cayenne
You want
pepper.
my head to explode?
No, like, it'll.
That will make my head explode.
Why would you allergic?
No, I don't do spicy. Like mild is too spicy for me, dude.
I mean, I feel you. I'm the same way. But if you put a little bit of cayenne in some hot tea, or just get some ginger beer, that can help.
You know what? I don't need an excuse for ginger beer.
Hey, I remember one time I was sick as hell at a gig. This was like in 2000 and I think it had to have been like 2000. I was in this one band and I was so sick. It was killing me. and I'd completely lost my voice. I got so drunk on ginger beer, and that was actually the first time that I got drunk before a show. And then in like the 3 bands that I was in after that, I got drunk before every performance, which is probably why I'm not in bands anymore. But that ginger beer actually opened me up and was allowing me to have my voice back. So ginger beer ain't too shabby.
Well, and the funny thing is,
Well-
I'm not actually sick. I mean, I was sick like for the first week, but after that, it was just laryngitis and a cough.
Mhm.
That's it.
So now your voice is just like, I'm a malingerer. I don't want to do this.
Well, I can actually talk today. Like, this is about the best it's been in about the whole 9 weeks.
Mm.
9
So,
weeks. Oh my God.
Yay!
Here's
Yeah.
my suggestion, and it works every time. Take 2 shots of blackberry brandy and boil it with ginseng root, and to make your own cough syrup. It'll be gone in 2 days. You'll sweat it out.
I get it about every 3 to 5 years where I just get this laryngitis that hangs on forever.
So am I to gather that the 1920s way of handling dentistry and everything else doesn't work with like shots of whiskey or whiskey on the gums? Remember,
Yes,
I don't know if anybody's grandmother ever talked about that, but that's my.
100%.
It makes them go numb.
Well,
I'm telling you right now, when my daughter was a baby and she was teething, I ain't got no qualms of saying that I did it. Took blackberry brandy and right across her gums, and let me tell you, it was a cure every time.
someone in my
Benadryl.
family, somebody in my family put beer in my sippy cup. Does that count?
What doesn't whiskey cure? Let's just ask that right now. What doesn't whiskey cure?
Whiskey
I
cures
don't know.
everything.
Is anybody?
Alcoholism.
Does anybody else have?
Alcohol, yeah, it can't cure alcoholism.
Damn it.
Does anybody else have whiskey in the jar going through their head now?
Yes.
Okay,
The
so
Metallica version.
of course, hello.
What? No.
Better than insane in the brain.
Lindsay is the version you want in your head. Fuck Metallica.
What's it? Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
Okay, all right, we'll go with Celtic Thunder then.
No.
Well, see, I say,
Lindsay, bud. Then Lindsay's the originator of that song.
well, see, for me, I say fuck Metallica. Everything after Black Album, Black Album and previous, I'm all about that Metallica life. After Black Album, I have no need for any of them.
I know like 3
Honey,
songs.
honey, what you do with Metallica is your business.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna if I'm gonna tag team any band, it wouldn't be Metallica. I am not gonna have Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield slapping 5s over my back.
I can't help it. You're a Nickelback fan.
I have been obsessed with Nightwish lately.
Look on Brian's face. Uh-oh.
This will be the last time I ever speak to you until you apologize.
I love you.
You see this? Take it back, or this is going in your pee hole.
Yeah.
That's a little big for a pee hole.
Yeah, tap it.
Nope, I can make it fit.
Oh.
That's like a 4 French. I don't think it's going in.
Are you daring me, kind lady?
I'll almost subscribe to your Patreon just to find out if it
Richard, present. You've got it coming. Nickelback fan. You know what? I hope you twist your ankle today. I hope
I
you
like
twist.
Nickelback.
I've
Good for you.
kept this up here. What Mike says, he says sometimes I'll keep a runny nose for like 4 months, and I'm wondering, Mike, why would you keep it?
Seriously.
Throw it away.
And I mean, why can't you just like stop doing cocaine?
That's how you get the words done, okay?
First of
That's why I haven't been able to write in so long.
First of
Sharon,
all, I would
get the cocaine. It's
I
time.
use caffeine. It's quite
First of all,
effective.
I wouldn't
Caffeine
let
is
it run that long. I'd go
Wait,
catch
hold
it.
on.
He said I'd go catch
There we
it.
go. Hey, brought to you by, let's see if I can
Oh my
get
god!
it. Caffeine.
Ah.
Oh,
She's got that stuff the truckers use.
No.
I want to jump on that question.
Yeah, take the question.
There was a question?
Whoa,
Yes,
what?
there was a question. I saw that.
Oh, you should have a website. Why don't you have a website?
How am I drunk? I mean, how
Why
do you-
hasn't Jonesy should
It
have
is the
slapped you
way that
upside
you
your
prove
head.
you're legitimate, even though it doesn't actually
Yeah.
mean that.
You don't exist online, you don't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If
you
you do not have a
definitely-
website, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You got to have something. Yeah, I
And
did
if you
call
have
you
one
out.
of them .wordpress.coms or .webs.coms or .whatever.coms, and people notice that and they're going to eye you askance. That's
Yeah.
I would say
Solid
to the
word
latter
for
part,
today.
I would say to
GoDaddy.
the latter part of his question, though, I think that's not the reason you have a website. But
No, it's
I-
not.
No.
It is and it isn't. It all depends. Because, well, in the indie market, no, it's not 100% the reason we use it. In the big five or to famous authors, many times you won't see you'll see the book on the author's website, but a lot of times nowadays you will actually see a website that is the book. I know. I think it was one of the Stephanie Meyer books. It had a dedicated website for the actual novel, and that's all it was. There was nothing else but the information about that novel, the book trailer, the things you could do, all the swag, all the gizmos and gadgets that you could go with it, and the blog that was with it also some entrenched something to do with that specific novel.
Why is he spending $350?
Yeah, seriously,
for
who
a
the hell is telling you, bruh, get a WordPress site? Come on,
No,
man.
you can do it for like 50
I'm
bucks a
telling
year.
you, here, I
If
spend
you
less
get,
than
you know what,
that.
Mike? If you get a WordPress site and get that, I will help you with it.
Dude,
Don't be
yeah.
paying nobody no $350. That's a
Dude.
damn car payment, bruh.
Start off with a blog and pay
If
the
you're paying
$10
$350 for your car
I
payment,
pay-
you're screwed too.
I'm at like $345 for my
pay
car
thir-
payment.
I pay $13 a year for my domain, and I pay $8 a month for my hosting, which is premium. So I have up to 20 websites and 20 emails per website that I can load on my own server for $8 a month.
Bruh, $350.
I pay like 5 years at a time. It's like $150.
Yeah, $350, bruh. Come on, the days of web designers being able to
Even
do
if-
that is over.
Even if I build WordPress sites, and when I do, if I build a WordPress site for someone only because of the hours it takes to put into putting it together, if you're not building it yourself, I only charge $125.
All right,
lot
so
of
you-
people,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go
a
finish your
lot
point,
of
I'm sorry.
people hound me for it. A lot of people come down on me for it, and I'm sorry. WordPress is not that difficult.
WordPress is easy as balls. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Because I have no patience. I have no patience for. I mean, I can build websites. I used to be really, really good at it. I just don't have the patience no more. I'm getting to the point now. I just don't have the patience. Bluehost. Who the hell's Bluehost? Who the hell is trying to take advantage? Bluehost, is that who's trying to take advantage of my buddy? Oh,
Bluehost-
hell no.
Bluehost is bad, Mike. I will tell you that.
Run,
Boo.
run.
I have a couple of friends that did Bluehost and had the same thing happen to them. Message me. I will send you a link to my server. It's $8 a month, and you pay for your domain. And in fact, I think if you subscribe to what I have, you get a free domain with it.
Or a t-shirt.
Message me, and I will hook you up,
Anything for
my
a
friend.
t-shirt.
Bruh.
It's weird because I have Bluehost and it's never cost me that. It's like the $30 a year or whatever. Now I am in Canadian dollars, so it's like double of what you guys pay.
Oh, Canadian dollar.
But it's like still only $30.
Yeah, seriously,
actually,
bruh.
it's half of what you pay. Your dollar's not as good as
Right,
ours.
like so it's like $15 for you guys.
Yeah,
It's the
bro,
same thing.
$350. They ain't even trying to kiss you, man. They ain't even spitting before they go to town.
Oh,
No wonder you
I
have a
visualize that.
no wonder you have a funny nose, Mike. You're getting your cocaine through Bluehost.
There you go.
It's like the whole new spin on
For
the
that
blue
price, they
part.
better be providing extra.
Hell yeah, for $350. Now, is that a month? Is that a year? I mean,
That better be organic coconut oil lube right there.
2 or 3 years. Oh, hell no, Mike. Why don't you just tell them to go get an old school Coke bottle And
no.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I stopped.
Well, we all knew where you were going, and now we're still there.
Yeah.
Can
Sorry.
we get away?
Sorry, everybody. Brian's been in a mood.
Joe, your show's R-rated, right?
See, I realize now.
The adult filter on tonight.
Well, see, when I come on, Joe knows to have the adult filter on. But no, I'm at the point now where, I'm turning 41 this year. I'm getting married in 2 months. And I realize that I have become Weezer from Steel Magnolias. I have now become Weezer. I am just moody as all hell. I hate everything. And yeah, I'm getting to the point now where I'm old enough to just speak my mind and not care.
Can I bring up something about the website that I bring up?
Please.
I always bring this up. I'm kind of a curmudgeon about this, but I have to tell you, all of you out there, if you are an author and you have a website, my biggest pet peeve is that you do not have any connections to your social media sites.
Yes.
I've seen so many author websites that do not connect. They either have it like listed in their Twitter feed, their RSS Twitter feed on the side, and that's not how people go to follow you. Nobody's going to go and click on that and follow you. I mean, you should have it all at the very top listed out there, wherever you want people to go to just find you. It should be right there and accessible. You'd be doing me a big service if you did it that way. But I mean, it should be somewhere, even if you put it in the contact page. If you don't want it to be on your front page, you put it in the contact page, you put it in the about page, wherever you put it, it should be there somewhere where somebody who needs to have your links finds it. And
why wouldn't you want to have it all over there? You want your social media stuff there. All right. If you're an author, you are a shameless self-promoter. Get your stuff out there.
That's a dirty lie. We all feel shame.
I have no shame anymore.
We have plenty of shame.
That's why we're currently crying into our little cups of alcohol.
Did anybody else feel that was a challenge?
Me.
Good. I hope you take it like that. Please.
You know what? If you get a book, I will specifically pierce my nipples and yell your name when I scream.
Oh, that's happened.
I have no problem doing shameless stuff.
You can only do that once.
And
I have 2 nipples.
And Anita, I know that because you have a great website, and I'm very thankful for what you do on your website.
Well, see my website. You can't really see it on my phone here, but if you go to briantan.com, you can actually see I have my social media links like right there. Not to mention the fact that I'm pretty sure I have it in multiple other places. I also have links to all kinds of other sites as well. And here's another thing. If you are going to have links on your page, like to your friend's page, like for one, I have GoIndieNow on my links page. But when you click the link to GoIndieNow, you know what it does? It opens up a new window. Why? Because I do not want you leaving my site. You will split yourself between me and GoIndieNow.
There you go.
How do you do that heart thing? That's awesome. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it, Brian. Thank you.
And make sure your SEO on your page is on point. Please.
It's not hard to do SEO.
It is not hard.
You don't have to do like the complicated stuff. Just keyword that shit.
And don't worry. And don't worry if your keywords, if you're using WordPress, do not worry if the keyword doesn't give you the little green happy face. As long as you are not blank or red, you're fine. You can be the little orange neutral dude that's looking at you disappointed like the nuns in school.
Judgmental guy.
Yeah.
You can do better than this.
It's like, you know what? You see me. You see me. Blow.
And if you're worried about keyword search tool, go to Google keyword search tool and type it in. Sure, you can't copy and paste it unless you pay, but take 5 seconds and write some of them down. Look for the top ones that are 100K to 1 million. If they're in that, that's 1 million searches per month on that keyword. Grab it, pop it into the blog, and you've got it.
Yep. Make sure, this is all stuff, and it takes painstaking time. all of us that are on here that are saying this, I mean, Katie, you'll tell. Well, for those, everyone I know, Katie knows, Sarah knows, Joe knows, Richard knows. I mean, we have had years upon years of trial and error and fail and fail and fail and fail before it's like, hey, I think this works.
Thanks to, I won't lie, when I started working with WordPress, I was not comfortable. I did it anyway. I was messing around. I basically learned trial by error until I became the CTO for Brain to Book Psychon and OWS Psychon last year. In 1 year, I learned so much on WordPress.org that it is not funny, and I can do almost anything. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Timothy Bateson, because if that man didn't break every link I'd done, I had to rebuild it and fix it again.
That was such a cluster at certain points. But we managed to pull that shit off.
Imposter syndrome.
I learned so much. And let me tell you, over the course of the last year and a half, I have gotten to the point where it took me months to build a website that was responsive to my brand new website, Quiet the Storm, for my life coaching. I built it in 92 hours.
Now, I'm going to hashtag unpopular opinion this. I do not use WordPress. I've used WordPress. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it. It doesn't think the way I think, and I think the best way. So, haha. I use Wix, but my advice is not necessarily that you should use Wix. My advice is find some, well-known, at least, website providers and use their free trials to test it out. Figure out what is going to work for you and what is going to work for how you think. If you need to build your own website, you need to be able to find what is, I guess, thinking the way you think. And we all think different. And my way's the right way and your way's the wrong way. But anyways, figure out what works for you, not necessarily what works for me.
Yeah, one of my buddies says it best. You are way more than entitled to your wrong opinion.
Right.
And honestly, and that's the way it is with all of us. You pick what works for you. Take suggestions, but don't take it as gospel.
Yeah.
Weebly is a free service. You can buy a domain
and you can
link it to Weebly. I still have a handful of websites on there that I manage throughout the year for my Native American festival that I'm a part of and some other things that I do. My father's website, they're all Weebly, and I just grab a domain and I map it to it and do the things that I have to do for that. Of course, they're less SEO oriented because they're more of landing pages. They're more informational sites. Here, go to this website. You can get the information about our Native American festival coming up this summer kind of thing. So I don't have to go crazy on the SEO because it's not something that we use all the time. We use it for August. But Weebly itself has their own blogging system, and you can also incorporate WordPress blogs through Weebly as well. I actually just learned if you are wanting to sell products more than just your books, Square Up. You can get the Square app to swipe your cards. They now have an online store feature, which is built through Weebly as well. That's how mine is built. It was built through WooCommerce until it broke last night. Luckily enough, I had it backed up on Weebly over on my Square site, so I was able to just, do some linking. Weebly is very easy to use. It's drag and drop. If you know how to take a mouse and go like this and drop, upload picture, drag, drop a text box and type in your little stuff and put a link in there, you're good to go. It's done. So there's plenty of different sites out there that you can experiment with just to get the hang of learning how to use a website. If you want to just start to try things out, WordPress.com, you can get the yourname.wordpress.com just to mess with it, learn how it works. My personal preference, I absolutely hate WordPress.com now because they don't have the classic editor, and the new editor, I hate it. Classic editor all the way, so I will stick with my WordPress.org site any day.
You can flip it back to the classic.
Yeah.
Well,
you
you can in the .org, but .com I have yet to find the button to do so.
Oh, I use their app on my phone.
There's the Canadian accent I've been waiting to hear. I use it on my phone.
Good day, mate.
I said phone. I got a cold.
We're over in Nova Scotia on the phone.
Actually, I've only
forget
been there once. I'm from the Midwest, man.
Oh,
I grew up above North Dakota. Okay.
Oh, you're above North Dakota.
Hey.
I could basically. Oh, Margie, the other day we went outside and we went oof the right. I learned that from watching Fargo.
Imposter syndrome.
I love Canada.
Wait a minute.
I'm
What's this imposter syndrome thing you're talking about?
Yeah, well, we'll talk
it's
about that.
thing.
I just have one. I have one. This is my next. I want to talk about that a little bit because it's been coming up a lot lately. A lot of people have been feeling it, but
nobody pretends to be me. I'm no one.
Okay, Richard.
That's the imposter syndrome right there.
Oh.
You just talked about in the last 10 minutes about 4 websites you've broken. I'm starting to wonder if it's you.
Oh.
I actually didn't even know my website was broken. I went to log on and blog yesterday morning and I couldn't get on it. I went, what's going on? So I messaged my provider and he said, for some reason your WooCommerce broke. They couldn't find a reason why. So they went in and just removed it. But
there was a cockroach.
Is that better known as your Ric Flair commerce?
Woo! Woo! Well, apparently your commerce was nothing to fuck with.
Limousine riding, high styling.
Yeah. All that and more.
So this has been coming up a lot with conversations I've been having, and I'm just kind of curious if you guys have either felt it this year or felt it recently, and how you guys have been dealing with it. And
I live imposter syndrome, okay?
Oh.
And to explain to people, imposter syndrome is Neil Gaiman and Neil Armstrong having a conversation about why they're in a room full of famous people and why they would possibly be included in this group. Because, oh my God. Yeah, it's when you're convinced that you do not deserve the accolades that you have earned because it must just be fate or fortune that you earn them, but it is always an indication of your skill level when you fail.
I wasn't aware that I had accolade. Well, I have a GoIndieNow accolade.
Okay, has anybody ever given you a 3-star review or better?
I don't have any reviews anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I got one.
Oh wait, but I did have some when my books were up there before.
I got one review. Thanks, Mike.
I think one book had 13, I think, and one had 9. I don't remember. I had a few.
What's your context on the imposter syndrome? I guess I'm not sure where I'm not following.
Okay, so everybody, of course, has their moments of doubt and everything like that, right?
Okay.
Imposter syndrome is when you're shown over and over and over again that you actually do have the skill set, and you still are convinced that the entire world is actually faking it or fooled. Somehow you have either convinced everybody that you are something that you're not, or they are faking it to trick you somehow.
Oh.
Or they just don't know any better.
Or they don't know any better. Right.
Doesn't matter.
It's essentially like, okay, so if I ended up being like a multimillionaire best-selling author, my lips to whatever deity is listening, then
let me jump in there.
Right?
I'd be okay with the lottery or something.
Still being convinced that I cannot write a coherent sentence that makes sense and actually evokes an emotional response from people. That is my imposter syndrome coming. The fact that I literally bawl every time I write a passage until my husband convinces me that it is okay. That is
Well,
my imposter syndrome.
Oh.
Now that I know what you're talking about, I'm
pathetic,
coach.
yeah.
I'm
It's like
coach.
the opposite of narcissism.
You're right.
Oh,
There you go.
I'm always going to be the opposite of narcissism because I don't want to be a narcissist.
Well, there you
So
go.
I'm never going to see I honestly, I don't take compliments well. I don't. I just like someone's like, wow, this is amazing. The hell did you just read?
Exactly.
I read something you wrote. Well, then clearly, yeah. I mean, I do. I deal with it constantly, and honestly,
Oh yeah. Well,
I trust the people that I'm around.
Do you guys want to hear?
Extremely common. Like
Well-
Maya Angelou came out just about a decade ago, essentially like, I don't think that I'm actually a really good writer. It's like Maya Angelou. Come on.
Yeah,
But
it's
that-
like
that works in your favor though. If you can embrace the imposter syndrome. I mean, we look at it as a negative. We look at it as we are just not worthy. But the difference between using your imposter syndrome to better yourself and using it just to be the anti-narcissist is when you become complacent and comfortable in your success, you don't challenge yourself. You don't become any better. When you understand that you can always learn and grow, and you embrace the fact that, well, yes, you're getting compliments. There's still more you can do. That you can always get better. You will strive to be better.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish it was that easy. I'm just
All right, I'm going to jump in here since I'm the coach. And I'm going to say this. Maybe you have to let go of who you were to become who you will be.
well, it has been said by many successful marketer and CEO, who you are won't get you to where you want to be. You gotta
Absolutely.
constantly
yeah.
evolve.
Now we're going into the cure aspect because there's no cure for imposter syndrome. I have never actually heard of somebody who has imposter syndrome ever actually getting
I
over
don't-
it.
I
We
must
just
not.
Don't cure the syndrome. You learn how to
I
work
must.
with it.
Work within the system.
And keep pushing
I
through.
wouldn't even say you work with it
You
because
push through.
you push through it.
Yeah.
I must not have it because I don't even know what it is.
Well, see, because I can't stand like I'm actually gonna like use an example, and I'm gonna be showing my Plotaholic shirt right now. Hugh Boll is a horrible writer and a horrible director, but if you tell him he's terrible, even though you've got the proof in the pudding, I mean, come on, House of the Dead, really? But in his mind, he is the greatest of the great of the great of the great.
But that's
And
the narcissist right there.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, I don't want to be that guy. I would rather be the dude that, if people are, goodly enough to say, wow, I really love what you write. I think you're great and you're my favorite, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, thanks. But yeah, I would rather be that humble dude.
I don't want to do
Imposter syndrome is more than just humble because the imposter truly doesn't. They're not an imposter, but those who are suffering from imposter syndrome truly don't believe the compliment. They can't believe that somebody would actually compliment them. Whereas a humble person would be like, oh, that's wonderful. Thanks.
All right, well,
And
maybe
maybe
I'm
a little
just-
awkward about it.
Maybe I'm just humble.
Like, no, you don't
I don't-
mean that.
I don't want to sound like a narcissist, but I know my writing's great. Go ahead and buy my book. Go ahead and buy my book because my poetry is awesome. And you can just buy my book and know for a fact that I'm right. Go
All right,
ahead.
Jay Sherman.
See, and I'm the exact opposite. I know my writing is absolute crap. Why do you people keep liking it?
So that is imposter syndrome.
I'm
And
in the
that
middle.
is
Please
marketing.
like my work. Please like it.
Buy the book.
I'm
You know
not.
what? Buy the book, and you know what? Buy
Hey.
the book and tell me you love it. Buy the book and tell me you suck. Just buy the damn book.
And
Right.
there's that too.
I just
No,
pat my
no, see,
own back.
the thing is, I'm actually convinced that at some point, enough people are going to buy the book that there's going to be like a critical mass, and everybody's going to realize how crap it is.
Well,
But
you
they
know what
will
you could
already
do.
got
Absolutely
the book.
convinced of this.
But then you go back to the Jack Sparrow meme. You're the worst writer in the world.
But you
You
have
haven't heard
it.
of me. Like, honestly, I'm willing to sell Joe's soul for my success.
I don't think you're allowed to sell someone else's.
Really?
Yeah, because
What about lease option?
Damn.
And
Hey,
just-
hard.
It
Put the,
depends. Did you earn it?
tear up the contract. I can't sell his soul.
But
If you
just so
Sorry,
you
Joe.
know,
You earned the other person's soul in
just
a
so you
legal
know, that
manner.
is
you know,
Would
That
that
is
be
not-
subletting though? I mean, that's
Yeah, I'm gonna sublet Joe's soul.
Yeah.
If that's
Just
okay
so-
with you, Joe.
Just so
I mean,
you
you
know,
get to
though,
keep
that's
the
not
hat.
how I really feel. I'm actually quite humble with my writing. That is not how I really feel. I'm just being a smartass.
Is anybody else singing the song in their head? Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way.
There you go.
You know that one? Yeah.
Dude, you lost me. Is that
No,
Canadian
I've got
country?
I'm a creep, I'm a loser going on.
There you go.
I'm a creep, I'm
I'm
a
a
weirdo.
What the hell am
What
I doing?
here? I
I
don't
don't belong here.
Julia's comment in the over on YouTube. For those of you who missed Facebook, it says, I would say that coming across as too cocky is a detriment, and it truly is. Coming off as too cocky, people really don't like that sort of
Oh, I
attitude.
hate cocky ass people.
Oh,
I hate
You
them.
know,
Well, you're basically just
I will
coming
actually
across as
argue that.
awful.
Yeah, exactly. You're just a big
Right?
asshole.
used
Right.
car salesman.
I will argue that.
Yes, car salesman. That's what I think
Yeah.
of. That's
If you-
what I think of.
if you're
No
gonna be-
offense to any car salesman out there.
Nope.
Look,
Yeah,
It's a hard
seriously.
job.
if you want to
Unfortunately
experience,
for me right now, I think of the president.
Psychologically,
Boom.
we actually approve of people
Up
who
top, Joe.
behave as though they have earned it.
there you go.
Period. End of story. We do not perceive them as being cocky. We perceive them as being confident.
Confident versus cocky. Yes, there is a difference though.
Yeah.
There is
If
a
if you have to
difference,
sit-
but
Yeah.
that difference is more about how we're perceiving it than how they're behaving.
Well, see, the way I
Jim.
look at cocky
Oh.
versus confident is when
You
you're
know-
sitting in a room with people and you have to say, yeah, and I did this, and oh yeah, you know this guy that I talked, you know the famous guy that you know, I called him by the, like, let's just say James Patterson. Oh yeah, Jim and I. Oh, you know James Patterson. Yeah, but no, you're a cocky prick, and I'm gonna hit you in the balls with a cricket bat.
Well, you see, that person comes across
Ow.
as extremely,
Damn. Jesus, why you
extremely
gotta say it like
not
that?
self-confident to me. Because
Yeah.
they're name dropping to get people to like think they're important. That means they're not.
We'll see that actually
Mhm.
shut up, Brian. You're almost saying things you shouldn't say. Enough. See, I'm good at this. I can censor myself. Holy crap! I'm so
There's a
proud
lot
of
of
me.
subtleties to it though. It's how you command your presence in a room full of people.
There you
It's how
go.
you
I'm gonna
answer
get him.
questions.
I'm gonna get him.
How you present information, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of nuance to it, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
And-
owning it, Rebecca.
Great. Quite frankly,
Jonesy, she's owning that train wreck tonight. And Jen, if you're playing country songs backwards, you get your dog back, your wife back, and the house back.
And the truck back.
but the thing is, they
Yeah.
actually have done research on this because of people like, oh my God, the serial killer, and the only name I could think of is Jeffrey Dahmer, but he was
Ted
always
Bundy.
considered attractive.
Sam.
Ted Bundy.
Yes, actually not that attractive, actually not that charismatic, but they've done studies because of those perceptions. Because essentially, even though he's actually just a normal looking guy and kind of pathetic to boot, the way he presented himself made him look confident.
True. Yep.
And I mean, but they have done a lot of these studies. And the thing is, we are actually more likely to give credit to people who would be considered narcissistic and cocky in any other situation than we would somebody who is considered, who's behaving in a humble manner.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Case
so-
in point.
The whole idea that being cocky is a detriment is actually, it is scientifically proven to be an
Oh, absolutely. Case in point. Look at Dwayne Johnson's career,
Oh,
wrestling career in 1996.
right.
He came out as the smiling nice guy, and he got booed. He came back speaking to himself in the third person and is The Rock. And the guy's like a global phenom now. He went
No,
Right? Well, let's face it, we all love Maui, and Maui's not
Hard day.
exactly the anti-narcissist poster boy.
no.
I got to jump in. I'm sorry. Totally off topic, but I'm over here in the comments. Rebecca Jonesy is like that because she's a stalker. Okay.
Well, I know that. I saw her in my trash can last week.
So
Julia says, "What does everything Becca says sound dirty?"
Because it is dirty.
Because it's completely filthy. Her mind is just one porn theater after another after another.
That's a good example. She owns who she is, and everyone loves her for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, apparently she's gonna murder me and steal Sharon. I'm like, all right, cool.
And we'll all
Turn her out.
watching.
Turn her out. Go ahead.
Oh, God, that was funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wasn't laughing at you, Sarah. What you were saying was great, but I tell you, that was good.
So let me ask this question because I'm curious about this. If they go hand in hand, can you have imposter syndrome and still have thick skin?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
You almost
better at
have
faking
to in
everything.
order to deal.
That's embracing it.
Sarah? I didn't hear what you said.
You almost have to in order to deal.
I mean,
I mean,
seriously,
Going, yeah.
you
Yeah.
can think you're not good at something until someone comes and starts throwing shade your way, and you can just like snap on them.
Yeah, but that's usually a factor of having siblings.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I know when I need to come across as confident. You know, like if I'm going to a con or something, that I don't get to be, oh my gosh, why do you even like me? No, I'm like, of course I'm a badass bitch. Come on.
I ain't saying that.
Mask.
I ain't saying that.
It's like
Hey,
it's almost
Why not?
like
I ain't gonna call you that. That's rude.
in a situation like that.
You're not all that in a bag of
It's-
potato chips.
I am all that in a bag of chipotle.
and I'm gonna make
Wait,
someone.
that's too
I'm
spicy
gonna make.
for you.
I'm gonna make someone mad when I say this. I know Anita's still floating around over there, and a few others, but
Anita doesn't
It's-
float. She flies.
Suspense.
I love suspense. That's why I go for it. But
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to say, when it comes to something like that, having thick skin over top of the imposter syndrome, it is Bruce Wayne and Batman. You have to put on. You got to put on your suit when you go out there in public.
You are Batman.
I know I'm Batman.
No, I was talking about Sarah.
Oh,
I'm black man.
Here I am tonight.
You've got a point. You got to put
You
the
don't even have
mask
to
on.
fake the voice.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually
you
Batman.
gotta. When you're
What are you
hard-
doing? Why are you going in these places?
Oh no, you had to say Batman, dude.
Nobody
You're
can
like-
take Batman seriously anymore.
You're like if Batman and Bane had laryngitis and we're talking over one another.
I don't know what's happening.
Which one do?
But I really think for someone that has the imposter syndrome, you got to put a mask on to be out there at a con or at an event where you're selling your books
Absolutely.
or something like
Yeah.
that. I have to admit, I perceive myself, in my personal professional opinion, I perceive myself as someone who's pretty humble. When I'm out there at an event, I'm actually pretty skittish. And the worst part about it is some of the events I go to, one that I went to last summer, I'm in my home turf where I grew up. I'm around people that I grew up with, I went to school with, I went to high school with, grade school with, and still I was skittish on talking to people and sharing my successes with my book, only because I'm afraid that they will perceive it in a bad way.
We'll
So you
see.
don't want them to think you're bragging.
Right.
Right. And I don't want people to think like that.
And it's a really fine line. That's the
It's
challenge.
tough. Well, I know that when I'm in sales mode, I get excited. I've mastered the art. Like, I'm a geek. And everyone who talks to me knows that when I start geek talking, I get like I'm a 12-year-old kid talking to his mom about something he saw on TV, and she's like, "That, yeah, that's great. Stop talking to me."
Minecraft, man.
Yeah, and I do that when it comes to writing, and when I'm doing the public sales thing and telling people about my writing, that's the mode I go into because I want people to see me as excited and approachable and all that. Oh my gosh, she's gonna stare at me! I'm gonna die. Sorry, I'm scared. I'm scared of Katie's daughter because she stares at me and I'll die.
She does have that stare down.
Like the Medusa thing.
Yeah.
Yes. She stared. One time she stared at me. She gave me the glare and I felt my soul go cold.
Cool. That's a good power.
Yes, she
And I mean, how
throws.
old is she? Like 7, 8?
We have
No.
to teach her to use it for good and not for evil.
She's
Oh,
like 5.
You can use it for evil that then like does good things, for, like kill the bad people.
So basically, you want her to be
People
the
you can't
Punisher.
teach that to. They
But
just
if
have to
she
learn on their
determines
own.
somebody's bad and they're not, that could be a bad thing.
Do not hire her out as a
What if
vengeance
they're
demon.
Katie,
No.
some people you can't teach that to. They just got to learn it on their own.
Mhm.
You got to
We're gonna
learn
have a lot of statues in our front yard, let me tell you.
Yeah, I heard she's.
Brian.
Yes.
I think Sarah wants to talk.
Wait, okay, so one of the tricks that I found with that is like I'll make friends with some of the other authors that are at events,
Mhm.
and I will be very, very sure like if I start my sales thingy and they're very much not into what I've got, but they're into something that somebody else there has, then I will actually direct them over, because at the very least what they come away with is I was listening to them, I honored what they wanted, and I was helpful.
And that's
We
all.
And now you're a cool
we
person.
do that. We have a shared
Right?
office table.
Yeah, and now you're the cool person, and they probably will want to get in on it anyway, and that's us. Because I noticed that when I go to cons, like I haven't gone to a con as well. Actually, I did. Like a friend of mine had a table, and he was goodly enough to print a short story of mine in his magazine, and I was giving it out. And I noticed that, yeah, making friends with the other authors that are there, and folks were a lot more receptive whenever I was listening to them and taking what they had to say. Why am I getting side-eyed? What the hell? Side-eyed run.
You're just
I didn't
a
do
right kind of
nothing.
guy.
I didn't do nothing to her. I just said,
Right.
hey, how's it going? And she just gave me the glare.
You weren't supposed to talk to her. She hadn't given permission.
That's true. I am the asshole. But no, I just, yeah, you listen to people, you give them what they
Oh my gosh, yes, a handler.
want, and there you go.
If you can afford to have a handler with you, that's awesome.
Yeah, I always
love
need.
my
Or
husband
like
comes.
somebody who owes you money.
Oh no. I bring my husband along, and then I send him to fetch me snackies and drinkies.
That's a handler.
That is
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just like, I need a timeout, sit here and try not to glare at people. And he tries to he glares at people.
Mine glares
He's
too.
actually an ogre. He frightens them.
That's
Well, your husband's Shrek.
But that's why I married mine, is so that he would frighten people for me.
Well, see, Sharon is like, Sharon will go up to people we don't. We were at a Dairy Queen. True story. We were at a Dairy Queen, and I just happened to spark up a conversation with a young couple sitting across from us. And Sharon's like, well, he's a writer, and just pulls out a business card and goes, and this is what he writes. And I'm just like,
She's a keeper.
yeah, that's why I told her, I said, look, after the 25th, if you're miserable, I ain't signing shit. You're just gonna have to live miserable, and I'm way stubborn enough to outlive you.
You
Well,
know,
my husband knows this is till death do us part. He's just not sure how he's leaving yet.
Nice.
You know.
That is
He really doesn't
awesome.
like it when I say that, though. It's weird.
I wonder why. Poor guy's gonna wake up with.
Just remember, hypothermia usually results in memory loss.
That's how my dad wants to die. He says you get all warm and cozy at the end. I'm like, Dad, I want to explode if I can't go in my sleep, because then everybody else to deal with.
Actually research the stages of hypothermia. It's traumatic just
Yeah.
to research it, but you don't remember things. So there you go.
Yeah, if you wake back up, you remember a lot of it, and especially if you lose your feet and stuff.
Oh well, yeah.
As long as I die
Memorable.
with my feet on the
Memorable.
ground, as long as I die with my feet on the ground, I'm cool. I mean, certain other things, I mean, hey, it's
Is
whatever.
it okay to have a 12-year-old bartender?
Yes.
Are they yours?
Is it in your own home?
Yeah, if it's your 12-year-old, it's one thing.
It's
Yeah,
totally
if
fine.
it's someone else's 12-year-old, that's delinquency of a minor, and you're going to jail.
Well, I know in Canada you're allowed to have alcohol in public when you're 12, as long as you're with your parents. Is that
Nice.
in the States?
I'm moving to Canada. Joe, let's go.
I mean,
Just bring in.
That's
Katie,
what I
get the
do.
Winnebago.
Wait, don't leave me
Pick me up,
behind.
You can come
Get the
to.
Winnebago.
We're gonna ride the Winnebago.
I'm not a pervert.
I definitely want to go to Canada. I haven't been to Canada in 20 years.
Where were you in Canada?
I've been to London, I've been to Toronto, I've been to Blenheim. So I've only been in
Basically,
Ontario.
You've been to like
I've been to America Light.
states.
America Light.
Yeah.
I've been to America Light. Ontario.
That's
That's what I call
I've
Ontario.
never been. I gotta say, I've never been. I want to go. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister has to grant me permission. Sadly.
Really?
Dude, their customs is the greatest thing ever in the history of mankind. Let me
You know what?
Well,
I'm just gonna
No
say,
matter
hey,
what,
I love going through their customs.
you know,
I
I'm just
wanna
because
see-
they're so
Thank you,
polite.
thank you.
No, I'm just gonna be like,
Julius Bridge.
I'm like, yo, Justin,
Julius Bridge.
you went as me for Halloween. You gotta let me in, pal.
if the Prime Minister is watching,
Embarrassing.
I would gladly take citizenship to Canada any day now, because America is getting.
I'm
Well,
just gonna all
I
I'm
had a
gonna
wonderful day. I just got like a 50% pay cut. So
Ooh.
I'm not that excited about being in Canada today.
really.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go start my own country.
That's
I'm
Yeah.
gonna build
Live on
myself
an
an
island
island.
with nice weather.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build myself an island about 650 nautical miles from Hawaii. Why 650? It just sounds like a good number.
It's gonna be called the Tandalorian.
It's gonna be called Tandalina.
Tandalorian.
Mike,
Tandalina.
how east is southeast?
No southeast? No. I don't want to be near Cuba. I want to be close to Japan so I can get the cool radios.
I
wanna
know
be in the
that.
Gulf.
I
I want to be in the. I want to be in the Gulf or out by the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, not
Because I
the
wanna-
gold.
I
Where's
want
that
to.
island the arrow was on? That looks like a cool place.
Leanne Yu.
Leanne Yu. Let's just all move there. As long as we don't hit the mines, we're fine.
I'm fine with that. I'll take the Mirakuru.
Oh,
I want to. I want to watch those hurricanes come in. Like, I'm a storm freak, and I want to just see it. I just want to know.
Oh, I am so good at reining myself in. I almost said something.
Well, we're almost out of time, but Richard posed this question, and you're not gonna like my answer, Richard. So
You're not allowed to ask questions from the panel. What are you doing?
You know, I gotta ask this question.
I'm gonna throw a rock right at your house.
I'm probably on the opposite side of.
Brian's so violent today.
I am.
I don't know what I don't.
Where's
I
our
honestly
cat
don't.
counter? We
I
need a
don't
little
know.
ding every time he threatens someone.
I don't.
New drinking game. Every time
I
Brian
don't-
threatens someone, take a
Right,
drink.
take a shot.
Oh,
Take
just
I
shot.
don't
Drink
honestly.
first 10 minutes.
I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel when I discovered this. This is something brand new to me. It was brought to my attention by a couple of fellow authors, and I went on to the website and I searched and I found one of my books. It was one of my older books, which has not had very many sales anyway. So I really wasn't heartbroken about it. I wasn't really sure how to feel. I'm just kind of curious what you guys think of it. And
Does it
what
have?
I think-
Okay, I have a question for you. Was it actually that they had pirated a copy of your book and were selling the book, or was it they were collecting people's credit card information under the guise of selling your book?
Yes.
Because that's a big one right now.
Well,
That
like I
book,
said,
that
I don't really
Bookista,
know a
Bookista,
lot.
whatever.
I don't know a lot about it. I just know that my book was on the website for sale.
Yeah, a lot of those places, they have your book description and they have your book cover and they have like this whole thing, so it looks like your book is for sale, but all they're doing is scamming people out of their money.
Well,
They're not actually selling your book.
Well, to be fair, if they're going to try to use my books to try to get someone's information, I don't think they're going to get anything. But
if you're going to randomwebsite.in.eu to buy my book, great big hit. Probably
Well,
not
the
the
Yeah.
thing of it is, I mean, the thing of it is, the book that my book that was discovered, and the books that were discovered by the other authors was a Russian website. So, quite frankly,
well, then
no-
you should have known.
no
They
one
should
that
have
I
known.
know no one that I know would go on a Russian website to buy one of my books anyway.
So
Wow.
that's free advertising,
Yeah,
All right, hey, woo.
right?
Hey,
I
I'll
mean,
take the
I
free
just-
advertising.
what-
You know,
what-
back
I'm really-
me.
I want to know
I'm really surprised that everybody's on the same page as me on this. I'm really surprised.
what's your take on it, Captain Trainwreck?
I am right on board with all of you guys. It's free advertising. Pirates are not going to buy books anyways.
Nope.
And most of the time, it's the scammers getting scammed. So if somebody's going to a pirate website to steal a copy of your book and their credit card gets stolen, well, it kind of sucks
Hey.
for you. You
Well, they
deserve
weren't going to buy your book anyway,
Seriously.
right?
Ever.
If they're looking for free books, they're never going to buy from you.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
You know,
And I look at it like this: as one of the
I
first,
give away so many copies. They just need to wait around for a little bit. Come on.
as one of the first people that
I know,
got
I give
kicked off of
people
Napster,
too.
thanks to Metallica,
oh,
I really have no call to bitch about it. I really don't. I was on Napster. I was on Kazaa. I was on LimeWire. I gave multiple computers AIDS to get free music. So I have no reason to bitch.
I thought it was herpes. Oh.
I got
Let's be
no
honest,
hey,
too.
Herpes,
Let's be- are you really-
Perpaceffa-adelitis.
Brian.
Let's be honest, too. Are you really missing that 86 cents?
Well, that's a,
Not if you know
that's
about it.
It would have been 86 cents more than what I got.
right.
Whatever.
I try not to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I
How
gotta
many
tell
free
you.
books do we give away?
Until I
That's true.
gotta
Right.
tell you, I have to tell you one last thing on that. I'm with Brian in that sense because, quite frankly, I am broke as a joke. No matter how many books I sell,
Let's-
unless I become a bestseller.
Yeah.
And
Well-
for years, to become the author I am, I pirated Microsoft Word like a mofo because I could not afford it until,
Yeah, I mean,
until
yeah.
a year ago.
Google Docs is free.
Well, here's the thing, though.
I didn't know how
too.
to use Google Docs.
Well, here's the thing too. Let's be honest. We all know we ain't getting rich off of this unless somebody options our stuff to be on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or whatever. Because Amazon is putting the fist to us
Not
with every
necessarily.
sale.
Not necessarily. I think that's one way to get rich. But there are authors out there who just write books, and there's plenty of
And
them.
they write good books, and they keep going, and eventually
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
be going. And
Well, I try not to get professional jealousy.
but
But,
I mean,
but-
you look at some of the people that we all know of that we think of are huge. They didn't make it big on their first or second or even 10th book often.
yeah, you gotta have a
Actually,
huge back
the people I
catalog.
know who even have a name for themselves still aren't making enough money to live off of.
Right.
Did
That's
I
why
make a
it's
name for
most people-
myself? Am I
Yeah.
considered someone that made a name for themselves?
And it
I-
takes
I-
10 years
I-
to be an overnight
know.
success.
I mean,
I could name 10 off the top of my head that make a living or do this
Yeah.
for a living.
And
so.
they've worked really hard to do that.
Absolutely.
Very few
I mean,
people
that is
like that
nothing
flash in the
but-
pan.
I can name a few that are making a living off of it. I can also name a few that made a living off of it, but were struggling and had to go out and do something else.
Yeah.
The
It- it-
saddest interview I ever heard, you know, that Warm Hands, Cold Heart book
Mhm.
movie? I heard that guy, and I don't know if it's on Mark Dawson or Joanna Penn. Nice guy. He hit it huge with his first book, and he spent all that money.
Damn.
And then the second book was probably good, but it didn't take off. And now he was talking about how he's like looking to like build his website and do this. And I was like, oh, never make it big
Yes.
at the beginning.
Sometimes the
There's
worst
nowhere
thing
to
you
go
can
but
do is
down.
make it big. Sometimes that's the worst thing that
Right?
can happen to you.
It's so
Well,
that's
Right. Look
I'm
at
so glad.
look at what have we heard? Honestly, what have we heard other than Fantastic Beasts from J.K. Rowling?
Harry
I
I'm
mean,
Potter.
writing under another name.
She has. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She became a crime author under a male pseudonym, Richard
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and
I want to say Backman, but that's Stephen King. No.
but we haven't heard much from her, and she's yanked her books off of the Big Five. She is
Yeah.
now a self-published author, 100%. But what have we heard? Now, of course, she'll
Yeah.
always get the royalties from Harry Potter. She'll always get the royalties from the Harry Potter land at Universal Studios. and all of that. So she's still, living well.
Well, financially, she's good, but she's been typecast. She can't write under J.K. Rowling without it being about Harry Potter.
I'll tell you
Exactly.
something right now. Within the next 20 years, she's going to sell the entire Harry Potter everything to Disney. Within the next 20 to 30 years, it's going to happen. Disney's going to own it all eventually.
Disney already is trying to own it all.
Pretty much.
As soon as they got rides about it, it's theirs as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty much, yeah. So
Well,
I mean,
it's not at Disney.
Well,
It's at
apparently
Studios.
my soul is for sale, so I guess they can grab that, right, Brian?
well,
My soul.
I wouldn't sell my soul
trust
for
me,
fame.
they are going to have to offer me a really huge payout for your soul, Joe.
Okay.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do I get commission off of that?
Years.
Do I get commission off of that?
Absolutely. I'll
Okay.
give you
500 speak.
I'll give you 15%.
It is my
And
soul.
don't forget merchandising. Don't forget your merchandising.
Oh yeah.
Got the
They-
contract.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And hey,
don't
everything-
sell them any rights unless you get merchandising royalties.
Absolutely. Because a matter of fact, we'll split the merchandising royalties 50-50 because everything that has a bit of your soul in it will have a hat.
So there's going to be a lot of pictures.
Hey, before you make it big, I just want to go IndieNow t-shirt.
Well, see, Joe's already been told that when he comes to the wedding, he has to have the hat or he's not allowed in.
I've been told that.
He has to have
actually
it.
was on my invitation.
Yeah, I actually wrote it in his invitation.
All right.
Ah, there she is again. Ah!
Stare at him. Right there.
Come on,
Give him the
let's-
stare. Give him the angry stare.
Please don't. I want to keep my soul where it is.
So, I want to apologize for asking the question. I just know that I won't be on a live show for a little while, and I just wanted to make sure I got the question out.
Okay. That's
No,
fine.
no, that's cool. I was just busting your chops. I don't
Oh,
know.
look at the little. Oh, look, she's a little Katie Salinas. Look at that. She is identical. Glasses and all, she is identical. She's like a mini me.
She is.
Please don't freeze my soul in my body. When things
Hi
are
there.
frozen,
All
when
right,
things
guys.
are frozen, they expand, and I'm already fat.
All right. So
All right, hop down. Hop down.
I
everybody,
think your kids are like on a play date now. They're
Are we quitting? What are we saying? Joe's over there saying something.
it's time. It's as a wise man once said, as we raise our glasses in cheers, as we do every at the end of every show. A wise man once said, "It's time to go indie now." I don't know where that guy is, but hopefully he's enjoying this show, and you all enjoyed this show as well. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us, and check out everybody. I'll have their links up here in a few minutes after the show, and check everybody out that was here. And like I said, the wise man already said it, but I'll say it again. It's always time to go indie now. And with that,